So, first of all, Sunday, are you pleased with that bloody good ride?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Yeah.
Did the preparation, because I was watching your Instagram and you were there, did that preparation go well?
Yeah, it was good. I did something a bit different. Usually I'd be going around, travelling around, doing all the Natbies and all the, like there's a lot of road races coming into nationals, and usually I'd be doing them, but I just took a bit of a different approach to it this year. I wanted a bit more of a focused training block, not just for nationals but for some races coming up as well. It was quite an important month, so yeah, I took myself off somewhere to focus and hustle down for a bit. And I mean, it's only been one day, but it seems to have paid off for
It
Sunday.
might have been a special day, it might not have been, but it was a special day, I would imagine, mentally. Being able to race with the other girls who are world tour and knowing that your legs were reacting just like them.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of reassurance for me. I've put in a lot of work and I know where I'm at physically, so to have it come together in a race, it was a big confidence boost that I can take forward for sure.
Just what were the key moments for the race for you in terms of keeping that great position that you had in the race?
I think for me, I went into it with a bit of a plan. Anyone who knows me knows I like to race quite aggressively, and I'm on the front foot from the off. And I just thought to myself, actually, I'm going to back myself for a result here. So I rode to a plan, rode smartly, didn't burn any matches where I didn't need to. Sometimes you have to use a bit of energy to save energy, but for the most part, I just backed myself for the end, and I knew that all these moves were going off the front, and at one point a group of maybe 15 went off the front, and but no one that I had kind of earmarked to be there in the last lap was in there. And I thought, well, you just got to bide your time and gamble. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it did work, and I knew I had the legs when it went really hard to get to where I needed to be, and I knew that positioning was going to be key at certain points. I recovered when I knew that I could sit back a bit, and then it was kind of a now or never moment. I was actually messed up positioning coming into Saltburn. I was too far back coming down the descent the lap it went, so that's why I had to really graft to get across to that move coming into the last lap. But I kind of knew I had the legs to work myself there and just had to go for it.
How does it compare to a normal British race without all the World Tour riders in it? Does it feel a lot faster?
To be honest, no. And for me, to be brutally honest, for me it was probably easier because I didn't have to do a lot of... I wasn't attacking every 30 minutes. I wasn't trying to make the race hard. It was a harder race, but without me having to make it hard. So for me it was probably... It wasn't an easy race, but it wasn't as hard as it potentially could have been. And I know where I'm at physically. I was kind of... You're prepared for some of the hardest days, and the big races coming up are going to be difficult. So it's as hard as you make it, and I know that I put myself in the right position to make it as easy as possible to be where I needed to be.
One of your best performances, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Just the way that everything came together, like physically and how I raced tactically and technically. Definitely one of my best performances on the road for sure.
And finally, just one, when you were actually in the groups, how many domestic other riders were with you?
None. I kind of got across there. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? But no.
Surrounded by World Tour.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and it's quite nice to know. Oh, actually, I've got the legs. I mean, for me, it's the first time I've been in that situation. And I was a bit the whole time. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to get in the way. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess anything up for anyone. I don't want to get in the way of anyone. But a lot of people said to me, oh, you're pulling through, you're pulling turns. But it was in my best interest for that group to stay away.
Sometimes it's good to be able to do that without actually going in the red.
Yeah, and everyone was working smoothly, and people were riding. It was probably easier to keep riding through than it was to sit on the back. And then if you sit on the back, people will start to look at you and think, oh, we need to get rid of, you're not contributing, so get rid of them. And I didn't want to be attacked. And I mean, people were attacking the whole lap. It was firing, and at some points I was like third or fourth wheel, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go with this. And I had the legs to do it, so I just kind of kept going with what I could and tried to enjoy it.
Enjoy tonight.
Thank you.
Nice weather.
Yeah, great weather for it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
well done.